All right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I know we scheduled this for a Friday night, so we get to really see who all the cool kids are that want to be on a webinar on a Friday night. So thank you for joining us. We'll try not to take up too much of your time because I know you probably just want to relax. So interestingly, we're doing this webinar this week on Facebook selling tools, So I know some of you are already consultants and you're in my Wicked Roar Facebook group. My name is Kara Lyons, by the way. I'm a coach in LuLaRoe, and my team is the Wicked Roar group. So for those of you that are still in the queue, you don't know about this yet this week, but we actually are, I just announced this week that the challenge for our team this month is actually a challenge for selling the most number of pieces in person. So it's a little ironic that we're doing a webinar this week on Facebook selling tools. So before we really get into it, I want to assure you guys that social media is not everything. I know, especially those of you that are in the queue or brand new, it's definitely a hyper focus because you probably found out about LuLaRoe through Facebook. You're probably in a lot of groups and seeing a lot of different online sales and seeing a lot of success and wondering how the heck these women are selling so much online. But I assure you that the most important thing in our business is making relationships with people, and we do not discount the value of face-to-face, person-to-person interaction. There's a book that we recommend reading. It's Simon Sinek, Start With Why, and one of the points he makes is that we are social beings. If social media were everything, then we wouldn't have, thousands and thousands of people in the blogging world, just one example, flocking on a live convention, right? So these are all people that really value social media, but they also really, really value the energy and camaraderie you get from being in person. That feeling you get from meeting somebody new and finding out what you have in common and having a common bond over, in our case, the love of these clothes and seeing other people's their reactions when they get to try on LuLaRoe. And I did an open house last night. It wasn't my biggest party by any means, but what made me so happy was I had 4 new people that had never came to shop at my house before. And I had a mother and daughter come, and between the two of them, they bought like 12 items. It was incredible. They found so much amazing stuff, and I guarantee that if they had shopped online, they wouldn't have bought that much at once. So social media is not everything. As you guys are starting out or thinking about getting ready to start your business, I don't want you to rely on online sales. And I want you to know that the tools that we're going to discuss tonight, they don't make or break your business, and they don't make or break your online business. So people have been doing online sales before we had these tools. All of that being said, we certainly don't deny the value of online sales, right? We know that LuLaRoe would not have had the growth that it's had in the past 2 years if not for social media. But and there are people that are doing amazing, people that are doing their businesses solely online and just having amazing results. But I don't want you guys to feel that it is everything or the be-all, end-all. Something else I want to mention is that neither LuLaRoe nor our team endorse any of these products. My goal tonight is not to make this like a presidential debate. We just want to inform you. There's so many questions. I understand you guys want to know about these tools. We see questions posted all the time, both in our queue page and our team page. So I just thought it would be really great to gather, 2 people that know these services really well to be able to explain to you what they do and what they do not do. But we don't, and LuLaRoe does not guarantee your success with or without any of these tools. We can't, and LuLaRoe can't help you if something goes wrong. So that's what I mean when we say we don't endorse. What we do endorse is following LuLaRoe policy and procedures and our etiquette and ethics document. So we endorse, following our standard minimum advertised online pricing. So that's going to be our standard pricing. We would never endorse any tool that allows you to skirt that system. you'll notice in the policies and procedures, this is a question that a lot of people ask. It says in the policies and procedures that you can't use social media for selling. And people say, well, what do you mean? People sell online on Facebook all the time, social media. The thing to note here is that all checkout must happen through Audrey. So we cannot endorse any app or tool or service that allows you to create an e-commerce site where people can self-checkout automatically. And things like eBay, Poshmark, anything like that, where people can self-checkout outside of Audrey is not allowed. It's against our policies and procedures to do any of that. Facebook jail, we can't tell you what is going to put you in Facebook jail or not. We can't guarantee that by using these tools you won't end up in Facebook jail. I don't think that anybody really understands exactly what puts people in Facebook jail. There seem to be a lot of different factors, and what some people claim they did is, different or the same from what other people did. We can't really find a common thread. I don't think anybody inside or outside of LuLaRoe really knows why that's happening. But again, it's another thing to consider about why we shouldn't rely solely on Facebook and online sales. So why in-person sales are really important too. So I hope all of that makes some sense. Again, all that being said, we want you to know about these tools and just have a chance to learn what they do and don't do, and we'll have time for some Q&A. Again, not meant to sway you either way, just meant to inform you. So I'm actually going to start by telling you about how I got into online selling and what a lot of us would do. I'll tell you what I did before any of these tools, because this is really relatively new within the past couple of months, and people have been selling LuLaRoe online for up to 2 or 3 years in some cases. So when I decided to start selling online, it was really just because, I started my business selling in person. I did only in person for a little while, and then I thought, all right, well, if I know people, in other parts of the country, not local, that would probably like to see this stuff, let me post some pictures in a Facebook group. And this was like almost 2 years ago, so I thought I was like a genius because it just wasn't a thing, right? It's such a thing now. So what I used to do in the old days, I would post all my pictures and I would post them in an event, and it didn't even matter. Like everything just uploaded quickly. There was no Facebook jail. And I would sit down after the sale the next day with a stack of index cards, and I would go through all of the photos, and every customer would get a card. So it would say like, Megan got a small blue geometric pattern Nicole. It would have and then I would go through everything, and everyone would get a description of what they got. I would take those cards, I would go invoice people, and then I would pull their orders. So I did that without any additional tools for selling or managing photos or anything like that. When I got a little bit smarter, I created a Google form. It's very, very simple. There are probably YouTube videos on how to create a Google form. You just go to drive.google.com and you click new form, and it allows you to create a form that people can fill out. So there you're going to want to ask their first name, last name, email address, shipping address. So that was really important. That's a really great, easy tool to have, because there you have everyone's information in one place. So there I would say, okay, so if you're going to claim something on my sale, you need to fill out the form, because therefore I'm not chasing everybody. I don't have a million Facebook messages. What's your email address? What's your address? That, you don't want to be doing that. So that's, the number one reason why I started using a Google form. And then you can also add other questions like, are you interested in hosting a pop-up? And are you interested in information on this business opportunity? So it's kind of like a good little way to gather some information about your customers. And you can put things on there like your return policy or other things you want them to know before checking out. So again, I did that for a long time, and I was still using my index cards. And then along came one of my team members with a very, very tech-savvy husband, and he came up with the program, What Did I Sell? So if you guys are not familiar with that, it's just a really neat little tool. What it does is queries your Facebook event or group for photos with the word sold. So that's a really nice tool for being able to pull your orders and to be able to have a record of what people got. So it gives like the name, the name of the person and a photo and the photos of what they got. And it's all, in order by their name and organized by their name. So that's what I've been doing mostly, the Google form and the what did I sell report. So I would take that report and I would go down that list and invoice them based on the photos of what they got. And then I would pull their orders. What that tool does not do is that there's no management of your photos, so to speak, which I think is perfectly okay. For me personally, it was really once my inventory got to a certain point where it was just taking forever and ever to upload my photos. And then to be able to afterwards remember to go through and delete what was sold. For a long time, I wasn't doing that. So my workflow, because I do in-person and online pop-ups, so I sell online on Monday nights, and then I would receive inventory over the week, and then I have my in-person pop-ups later in the week or on the weekend. So I would be photographing everything as it came in, and then I would go sell stuff in person, and then come Sunday and Monday, I would actually go through all of my photos. I had them organized in Dropbox. You can have them on your hard drive, whatever. I had folders for every style and size, and I would go through those photos and just look at all my inventory and delete the pictures of what was sold. It worked okay for us for a long time. Again, I'm not. I feel like this is fine. I don't want you to feel like you have to pay for any specific program because you want to sell online. You don't have to. But I personally did get to a point where I wanted, I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if I didn't have to upload these photos every time, or if there would be some way to automatically delete what was sold. I probably have about 1,400 pieces right now. So for me, it was getting to be a little bit much. But again, starting out, I don't want you to feel like you have to go into one of these right away. So that being said, there are two programs which we've identified which are really popular right now. So there are Shop the Row and Row With Me. So I will have, who wants to go first? Bethany? Because you all set?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So Bethany has been using Shop the Row, and she's going to tell us what that program does.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Bethany, and thank you for introducing me, Kara. So I started selling back in October, and I'm not going to bore you with the details of my initial way of selling because it was very similar to Kara's system, a little bit different, but think index cards and screenshots and hunting people down for email addresses and Google Forms, and it was a lot to manage. So I actually heard about Shop the Row a couple months ago and have been using it since. And it's really helped my online business blossom a little bit more in the sense that now I can take on more work and have it be less impactful with my personal life. So a little bit of background about me is that I'm a nurse and I work 30 hours a week, about an hour away from home, and I have 2 small kids, so time is of the essence, and time's really important and hard to come by. So I do most of my LuLaRoe work at nighttime and on the weekends when my husband's here and can provide some support. I definitely agree with Kara 100%. If you're in the queue and you're listening to this, I really want to impress upon you the importance of in-home sales. I am limited in the amount that I can do, so honest to goodness, I do 2 of them a month, and I have them on one weekend every month because that's all I can do. So those are my sales that I go to other people's homes to do. But then I have open houses here, and people come to shop at my house all the time. But the value of face-to-face interaction is irreplaceable, so that's really important. With that being said, I have a pretty good online business going, and it was getting more and more difficult to manage my inventory as it was growing, and my inventory right now is at about 1,200 pieces. So the system that I had in place, I was just sort of outgrowing, and I decided I was going to try both programs, Row With Me and then also Shop the Row, and figure out which one worked for me. I think they're both great programs. The honest to goodness reason I went with Shop the Row was because it was cheaper. So, and I thought that it did pretty much the same thing. So I did a free trial for both and ended up with this. But I want to actually open up Shop the Row and show you guys, rather than just talking about these concepts that you can't necessarily put your finger on. I wanted to show you how I actually work the program. So I'm going to do something called a screen share. I'm going to do that right now. And hopefully it works. Oh, here we go. Can you guys see my screen or not?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, cool. Is this little thing? Let me minimize that. So when I'm using this program, Shop the Row, this is when I sign on, this is what my screen looks like. There's a home screen. And on the home page, there's a couple of really nice features that I just want to highlight that are helpful in your business. What Shop the Row does is it organizes the finances of your business to the extent that it tracks your sales, and it tracks the items that you, or the costs that you have, overhead costs basically. So, the cost of, like this month I got a price tag gun, so I put that into my business expenses, which is right over here. So it deducts that, and it uses this great little formula to tell you basically how much the government is going to see that you'll be taxed on at the end of the year. And this is a very rough estimate, but it's a good general tool for that. You should still see a CPA around tax time, but this is helpful. So on my home page, I have a section that I can go to that's my inventory, which is exactly the same thing as the my inventory over here, so I won't bother getting into that. You also have a finance tab or section where if you click that, it brings you to a profit loss statement for 2016. So this is really what you're looking at for tax time. And I told you about the overhead costs and everything. So it tells you basically what the government sees that you'll be needing to be taxed on at the time that comes. So that's a nice little area. And then your business expenses can all be tracked right here. And I have a lot that I have to input, but you can see I put in gas mileage. I put in actually lunch, because I got lunch one day when I was out. I had to grab food on the run, Staples, that kind of thing. So the home screen is nice for that. It also, the home screen also gives you really nice graphs that you can use to sort of see what your sales have been looking like over the past, 30 days and that kind of thing. So if you hover over it, it gives you an idea that on August 3rd, that's how much I sold on August 3rd, that kind of thing. So that's nice to just get a general gist of what you're doing in terms of sales. And I was actually on vacation the last couple of weeks, which is why my sales have been low, but still. And then so it gives you a lot of information in that section. It also gives you a how-to section at the bottom, which is great for when you're first getting started. And this how-to section tells you about, gives you a general intro and all these different things. It also gives you something that I encourage you to use, which is the Shop the Row customer tutorial, which I actually, when I rolled this, using this product out, I put this up in my Facebook group. I explained to everybody why I was going to be initiating use of this program. And I asked everybody to sign up and make an account, and did a giveaway just to get people excited. So I really highlighted the real reasons behind why I wanted to use this, which was so that I could do more online parties with people, because I wasn't doing any online pop-ups at all. I was only doing sales in my group because online pop-ups were not fruitful enough for me to feel like taking the time to upload my albums, which was hours and hours of work, doing all of that was worth it for the outcome. So I just said, no, I'm not doing it. But with Shop the Row, I can, and it helps me network, on the internet side of things, which is great. You build your network in a number of different ways, face-to-face interaction, but certainly you have a lot of interaction with customers on Facebook. So anyways, I posted this link and I asked people to watch it, and I asked people to make an account, and they did. The other thing that I did was or the other thing I want to highlight is Shop the Row has a fresh desk type of thing where you can email them about issues that you're having with your account, and that's the email address right there. And then there's also a support group for people who are using the program, where it's a Facebook group, and there's a lot of frequently asked questions there, so it's nice to go there to refer to if you have any questions about how to use it, if you're just getting started, or if you're running into a problem, other people may have shared experiences. So that's pretty much the home page. Now my inventory section, I'll click on right here. This section is where you upload all of your inventory, basically where all of your images will remain, so that you can upload them easily to Facebook groups or whatever. And I'll get into the My Parties section in a little bit, because Shop the Row now has an option to have sales that are not through Facebook, just because the Facebook platform has had some issues like Facebook jail. So anyway, so I have most of my inventory listed right now, which just means that it's in a separate section, sort of ready to be thrown up on any group page that I'm an admin on at any moment. But my inventory section, you can see that I have all of my styles here listed of what I carry. And then next to it, all of my styles are organized by size. And then there's also this really neat little button at the end called All. You can see also that there's, it tells you what's listed, how many of your items are listed, and then how many of your items you've sold. So that's nice. It gives you a quick estimate of like how many you might need. And you can see obviously there are numbers next to the sizes, and that indicates how many you have of those styles. So I can see that I'm pretty much stocked up on everything because I just placed a big order. So I'm where I need to be. So if I wanted to list these items, I would click All, which will, after a few seconds or so, will populate all of my Azures into this little inventory section. I'm going to open this up and increase the amount that you can see. So you can see right here I've got all of my sizes, and they're consecutive, extra small, small, medium, blah, blah, blah. These little size tags that I have in here are actually considered by Shop the Row inventory, because they don't have a structure yet where I can throw that in and post it to Facebook. So I just have it listed as inventory. And thankfully, nobody has tried to purchase that yet at this point in time. So anyway, so when I want to post these items to Facebook, I click Select All, and that highlights all of my my inventory right there in that style. And I scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you'll see there are some sections here that are organized by group, album, and then message. What I do then is I find what group I want to post in. So right now I'm on a multi-consultant group that I post in occasionally on Fridays. I can pick the album that I want to post these in, which none of these apply because it's not that kind of a day. Actually, let me go into here and I'll just show you. So I have all of my albums already made. If I wanted to post my Azure skirts, I would put them here. And then this message section is really important because the message section allows you to basically put the Shop the Row link into the item that you're listing so that people can claim it through Shop the Row. Without this section, you can't actually use Shop the Row for its function, which is for people to claim your inventory and to be able to move it out of your stored pictures and into a saved location so that you're not overselling. So this section is really important. So I'm going to find my Azure. There's this neat little button right here that's a clipboard. You just click and then paste it in there, and it has all these little bracketed things. So URL, let me see if I can scroll up. Item, price, all of that information gets populated into the listing based on the information that you put in when you upload the inventory. So I put a description for almost everything that I have, which is why I have that up at the top. The item will automatically be in Azure, and the size will be the appropriate size. So the other thing that I have here is a customized claim form, which I can click. And I have a little question that I ask my customers: would you like to host a pop-up? You have to highlight that in order to make it work. And then you can either list and post to Facebook now, which can take, it depends on what time of day you're uploading, but it can take 20 minutes to, an hour and a half. It depends. The longest I ever had to wait was an hour and a half. And the reason that it takes that long, even though it says now, is because Shop the Row does the job of monitoring your posts and preventing you from posting too quickly. So the whole idea is to try and prevent you from being in Facebook jail by posting too quickly. So you can click that, and then the other option is list and schedule for later. So say I'm going to be going out, but I want to start my party at around 8 o'clock. I would click this. I do want to highlight that this does not auto-populate the day, so it doesn't put in the correct date, so you do have to change that, and you do that there. And make sure you click the right time zone. And then you list to put to Facebook later by clicking there. And then there's another section that talks about listing without posting to Facebook, and a lot of people might look at that and think, why the heck would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. But that's actually the option that I'm going to choose right now. And this option, listing and posting to Facebook now, gives you the ability to do a couple of different things. So you can make something called QR codes, which are like barcodes that you can put on your inventory so that you can quickly scan those items at a pop-up, so that you don't have to look through your albums to find them if you wanted to pull your inventory out in real time when you're at an in-home pop-up with real people. So that's one reason that you would list to Facebook now. Another reason would be if you just wanted to put your inventory up so that you could quickly move it onto a sale. Like say you have a couple sales that you want to go to, you might want to list it first and then sort of divide up where you're going to send all of your inventory off to. So I'm listing right now just to show you what it looks like, and it does take a few seconds to do that. So you have to be a little bit patient. But while that's listing, I'll also show you up here at the top of the screen. It's a long ways up, is the area also under my inventory where you would add your inventory if need be. So those things have listed. I can see that my internet is no longer spinning. So those things have listed. Under my inventory, if you wanted to add inventory, you would click on this blue button. I think that uploading the inventory is probably the slowest process with this program, and it's only getting better. So I'm really hopeful that it's going to be a lot quicker, and they're going to have a better system in the future. And right now, it's not a bad system. It's just, if you have 100 pieces that you've ordered, you probably have to put aside, an hour or so to upload your pictures. But again, I'm speaking from my experience, and I write descriptions for a lot of the stuff that I get because I don't want to deal with a lot of questions like, what color is that background? I want people to just know it so that they're not asking those kinds of questions and they can shop a little bit more quickly. This is taking a long time to open up, but I do want to show you this. And then I'll sort of buzz through the other sections because there's a little bit less information in those. But the adding to inventory section I told you about already. It gives you an option of choosing your style, choosing your size. The price automatically populates. Oh, here we are. So I'm going to say I'm going to be uploading. Let's say I'm going to be uploading not a Carly, because I don't even know how much that is yet. Let's say I'm going to do a Cassie. I'm not actually going to do it, but I would choose my style, my size. The price automatically for what you pay is entered in there, and then the map pricing is automatically entered in there. So that's information that the system is using to track how much you've sold and so on and so forth. And then you could write your description here like blue Cassie waffled fabric. And from here, you can do two things. You can either upload a new image from your computer, which I don't have anything really to upload, or you can pick from your image library, which shows you the last, it's supposed to be like the last 25 or 35 items that you've uploaded, but I asked the makers to open up my library so I could choose an old pattern of leggings that I didn't want to take a picture of again, and I wanted to put back into my inventory. So you can choose from here and just click the item. The other nice thing about this, let's say it's that, is that if you wanted to put in that you have a duplicate, so let's say these are leggings and you got 5 black pairs of leggings, you could type in this section down below how many pairs of those you've gotten, and then submit and add another. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to learn. The My Listing section is nice because it shows you everything that you have listed right now. You can see this red angry bar at the bottom is telling me that I've used a lot of my Facebook time. So the hourly quota of time that I have to post things without going in Facebook jail. It says that I've over my limit, which is okay because Shop the Row, and they give you a note right there that tells you that they sort of take care of that for you. You don't have to worry about it because they borrow from other people if you need more posting capability at the moment. They borrow from other people who aren't using their accounts right now. So those are some interesting things. So here you can see all of my inventories listed. If I wanted to open up something to show you what it looks like, I just posted all of my classic tees so I can show you what posted inventory looks like. And it's nice because this list will show you where these items are posted, and then also let you access this item really quickly if you wanted to. So right now you can see that I have it in my multi-consultant sale. If I wanted to cancel this posting for any reason because I decided I told my mom I would hold that one for her, I can go over here and I can manage the listing with this little wrench. And then this gives me, and then this gives me the option to cancel the listing at the bottom of the sale. So that's really nice. And there are all sorts of tools that you can use like that. I'm trying to think of what else I have on this inventory section. So the other really, really nice thing about this is, so right now I have a few items that are posted in a multi-consultant sale, but if I want to post my albums to 2 different places or 3 different places, I can do that using this My Listing section. So I would just highlight the things that I wanted to post elsewhere. So let's say I wanted to do all of my 3XL classics, and I wanted to put those up in my group also. I would just scroll down to the bottom, and it gives you a section of posting selected to Facebook. I can change that to my group, and then just find the appropriate album, and then put my description in. That's the wrong description, but you get the gist, and then post to Facebook now. So that allows me to post to multiple places at the same time. If somebody claims your item in one group, it shows up as claimed in the other, so you don't have to worry about that. This other button down here, cancel selected listing, does what I just did on that one individual picture, which is cancel the shirt that my mom asked me to hold and that I accidentally listed for sale. This is the little spot where you can make those barcode labels, which you can see. I think there was a picture of one, but it's just like one of those little scan square barcode thingies that you can put on all of your inventory, so you can scan the items quickly in home. Posting to Facebook and then deleting Facebook photos is another section. This takes your photos down from Facebook but leaves them in your listed section. So again, if you needed to make QR codes but you didn't want your things up for sale, you could do that. And then this is a newer section developed just a couple days ago, which is their party section, which is something that really set Row With Me and Shop the Row apart initially, which was that Row With Me operates on a separate platform. So you don't do your sales through Facebook other than posting your link and doing interactions that way. You have all of your sales on a on their own website, their own server, rather. So now Shop the Row also has this option, and it's the party option within Shop the Row. I think I have a test party here, actually, that I made for this purpose, but it's not letting me open it. Yeah, so it's not letting me click that, but usually what it does is it lets me click it and then gives me a drop-down menu that shows me my parties that I've created and allows me to post there for people to shop. I'm not really sure why it's not letting me do that, but it's not. The party section over here is where you would have those online parties. So let's see if it's just taking its time loading. So I have a test party right here. I don't think I have anything in it. Yeah, I don't have anything in it right now. But if I wanted to post something in it, I would go into my listings. I would choose the item that I want to post. I'm going to actually try to show you because I think it's really important that you see something posted so you can see what the Shop the Row party platform looks like. And again, they just developed this software, so it's really, really kind of at a basic level right now. But the creators are planning on really working on that over the next week. So I think there are going to be a lot of changes coming to that. And this is sort of a response to the issues that we've gotten into selling on Facebook, like Facebook jail. Facebook has a lot of policies that sometimes catch our posts as spam, even though we're not spamming people. They see common images like size tags, and they associate that with spam because that was included at one point in time in a reported spam issue. So here we go. So I clicked add to my party, and I want to add that to my test party. If I wanted to remove those pictures later, I would click that link. So I'm adding this to my test party, and then you'll be able to see what it actually looks like when it's laid out in a party format. So let's go into my parties. And so when I on Tuesday night, I think I was put into Facebook jail, and it was the same night that they came out with this party platform. So I've used it only once, and it worked fine. So I can see what my party looks like by going in here, and you can see that my two sizes are split up. If I click on this little hyperlink, it'll show me all of my inventory and give me options to claim. And this is what your customers are seeing. So we'll give it a second and let it open up. So when they click the link, they're going to see this really wonderful yellow pair of leggings. Click right there, and it will bring up the item and give them the option to claim the item for sale. So it tells you where it is. It tells you what it is. There are some newer capabilities as of today about writing comments to the person who's selling this item, like what color is that? They shouldn't have to ask me because I put it right here in the description. And then they can claim like that. So when that happens, it automatically defaults to if you have an account, it automatically inputs your information. If you're on a computer where your information is normally saved. And so I would be able to claim it that way. I want the cheapest shipping, and I want to say, you're the best. Can I use my credit? Not now. And then I can claim it right here at the bottom. And I will show you what that looks like when it's claimed. So then from that, I get a notification up here that there's another item that's been claimed because I initially started at 29. And if I click on my sales tab, I'll see the information there that is really the bread and butter of this program to me. So I can see there that Bethany Northheart has fantastic taste, and she chose this yellow pair of leggings for her little person. This little Clipboard, again, allows you to copy and paste very easily. So you click it once and then go into Audrey and dump it into the email areas to send your invoice. Same thing with name. And that's that. So that's how you basically get rid of the, how you pull it out of your sale. And then this is now marked in the sale as claimed, so nobody else can claim it. They can comment on it by sending, by putting in that comment section that we just saw next if they wanted this particular pair, so that I would know they were next in line if the first sale fell through. If I wanted to cancel this sale, I would just come over here and press cancel this sale. There is a customer view, which just shows you what I verbally described to you. If I wanted to move this out of inventory, say I invoiced the person and they've paid and I've made a shipping label, because I usually click this little paid section when they've actually paid and I've made a shipping label for them. So I'm keeping this very organized. If I got to the point where this stopped spinning, I would click this little box right here when it was actually all packaged up to ship, and it would move it down into this tab in my sales section, which is my, where the heck is it? Oh, it might be up top now, actually. Oh, I think they might have moved things around like a second ago. So it's probably now here. So it would move it into my recently completed sales section. So you can see that all three of these little check boxes are clicked. And that way I know the item is still there. It's been sold. It's no longer in my inventory, so I can't oversell it. And if, say, this person decided she didn't want it after all, I could cancel my sale and it would put it back into my listings so that I could sell it again. So my image has been preserved, and I can easily put it back into my inventory. So this is basically the gist of how it works. I'm going to turn off the screen share. I'm sorry that was so lengthy, but I really wanted you guys to get an opportunity to see how this whole thing worked. How do I get back into my screen share? Here we go. And I want Megan to have some time to talk, so let me end this little talking session if I can figure out how to open this up. I don't know, Megan, just start talking and I'll disappear.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Am I unmuted?
We can hear you.
Okay, good. I am trying to do this on my iPhone because I have, okay. First of all, don't ever get a Chromebook. They're terrible. But I'm trying to do this on my iPhone, and I'll show you on my computer a little bit of how Row With Me works. I've been using it, I would say, about 3 weeks or so, and I love it. I kind of just started out the same way that both Kara and Bethany did, manually pulling orders, overselling, because I couldn't figure out how to keep everything straight. And I would literally, after every weekend, I would have pop-ups all weekend, and I would come home, unload my car on Sunday, and literally go piece by piece by piece, touching every single piece of clothing to make sure that if I had the picture, or if I didn't have the picture, I would be deleting it. And then, after I would delete it, then I figured out, well, I probably shouldn't delete it, because then I was getting people who were returning stuff, and then I have to take the picture again. So then I would move it to a sold folder, and it was just a hot mess. And then I was building inventory up. So my inventory was 300 pieces, which it wasn't do all that stuff. Now I'm at almost I'm at like 11, almost 1150 tonight. I just got, I'm going to say like 80 more pieces in tonight. And going through that much clothes is kind of, a pain in the butt. So I needed something else to do. So I, like Bethany, I did a free trial of both. I did like Shop the Row. But I will say, even before I started LuLaRoe, I was not really on Facebook that much. I'm not really that big of a fan of Facebook, and Facebook notifications give me like palpitations. Like when I get on my Facebook in the morning and I have 30 notifications, it drives me crazy. So I did like the fact that Row With Me was not on Facebook. And I played around with both for a little while, and I found that uploading through Row With Me, I felt was a lot easier, a lot more user-friendly, and it went a lot faster. I did my 80 pictures tonight, and I uploaded. It took me more time to take the pictures than to upload. It probably took me 15 minutes to upload everything to Row With Me, and that to me is like that time saver right there is worth it to me. I would say, my teammates ask me, I would say Row With Me has saved me at least per pop-up at least 3 hours. So per pop-up. So I mean, that 3 hours of my life, I can't even imagine, probably saved my marriage too. So, but I will show you a little bit about Row With Me. I don't know if you can see that, how you can see that. So it's kind of the same thing. It has a little toolbar over here. I can show you quickly how you would put your items in. So right now it doesn't have any anything selected here. So these are my Nicole's, and you can go down. You can either scroll down, or it has a nice little button here. So if I wanted to look at my medium Nicole's, I can do this. Uh-oh, my battery's dying. Hopefully this doesn't cut out of me. I'll be really quick. So if I want to add some pictures, I click on this little button here. I can click on this and I can edit my style. When you first start, you have to add the styles. You can change your cover photo, you can name it whatever you want, put the price in. And then what I like to do is I just pick either the smallest or the largest. I usually go with the smallest. And I will add all of my pictures here. Okay. So I'll just take these 3 pictures. They're already in there. Oops, sorry. All right, so I'm just gonna add these 3 pictures, and I added them in extra, extra small, even though I know they're not extra, extra smalls. It's just easiest for me to do that. Just pick the first one. So they're uploading here right now. You can see the little bar. So that one is actually a 3X. So what I would do here is I would just go here and I would change the size, and it automatically moves it to the right spot. I'm not going to do this because I'll forget, and I'll probably have 2 pictures of the same thing, and then I would oversell it. So I'm just going to delete these here really quick and go to 3X. So see, now I have 2 there, and I really don't have 2. Another thing that's really nice on these, you can, if you accidentally put it in the wrong style, you can change the style here. You can change the size here, and you can change the quantity. So if I had 2 of these, or even 3, I could just move the quantity like that. It's super easy to upload everything. And that's what I liked about it. The other thing I liked about it, from the customer aspect, it's super easy to navigate. This is what the customer sees. Let me go into that really quick. Okay, so you would click on your thing here. You would go to pop-ups. And you can see here, I've got a bunch of pop-ups here scheduled. Some are closed. I have one in preview mode, and some are open. So in order to create a pop-up, you just click on this little plus mark here, and you create your pop-up. You can name it whatever you want. You put a description in, and the coolest part about it is that right here, you can schedule it to open whenever you want. I can schedule it to open tomorrow. I could schedule it to open right now. I can do this on my phone. If I'm with somebody, I can schedule one to open right now, and I can text the link to them, and they can check out my inventory right then and there. It's like having your inventory with you all the time. It's so nice. I can put in a form if I want to, just go from there. Another nice thing too, I can decide if somebody only wanted to see Nicole's or only wanted to see Amelia's. I can go in and choose which styles I want them to be able to see, which is cool too. What else do we have here? Okay, so, let me show you how to share it. So when I am trying to share my pop-up, what I want to do here, it's taking a little while. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, so there's my link. You just copy that link and you can paste it to your Facebook group. You can paste it. I actually started doing, it's called MailChimp. I have people sign up if they don't have Facebook. They can sign up, and then every Monday before my sale, I will send out the link in this MailChimp. It's like a mail subscription service, and it just emails the link right to them, and it says, okay, and most of my customers already know Tuesdays at 8 p.m., every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. is my shop, and I mail the link out to them on Monday night. So this is what the customer sees. They go over here in this little section right here, and that's where all the styles come up. So they can choose, of course I picked dot, so I only have two sizes of that. Let's try something else. Okay, Carly's. So I picked my Carly's. The nice thing too is the pictures are really big, and I feel like it's aesthetically pleasing to go through here and just look at what all I have. Another nice thing is I can, over here, I can say, all right, well, I just want to see the smalls, which I'm dying for that one in my size, but so I can go through and that's all my smalls. If I decide I want to see extra smalls, I can do that, or I can go and look through all the sizes at the same time. Another thing, I'm thinking I was in there. So I'm in line for all of these items here. What I do when I'm at an in-home pop-up, which makes it easier for me, I will create a pop-up for each hostess. And I go in when I'm doing my checkout, I just make it a part of my checkout. I just go in and claim that item in row with me when I'm checking that person out in the in-home pop-up. And claiming is really easy. Let me show you that really quick. Okay. You see that little button there? It says claim. You click on it and that's it. They're in line. Okay. Well, I'm in line for that one. Okay. So I'm in line for that one. It'll give me a little notification if I have the window open. And then if I decide, hey, no, I don't want that, all you have to do is click pass and you get out of line. It's so easy. That's one of the other things that I really liked about it. There was no commenting, there's no links, it's just clicking a button. A lot of my customers are not necessarily the most tech savvy, so that helps them. Like my mom and her friends, and even my grandma and some of her friends like to shop online with me. It makes it pretty easy for them. So like I said, when I'm at an in-home pop-up, I just go through, and when I'm checking them out, I go through either on my phone or on my computer, and I go through and I claim the items that they are checking out. And then later when I get home, or even if I have a little bit of downtime before I leave, I just go in to my dashboard. Sorry, going back and forth here. So I'll go to my dashboard here. Oh, it won't give me the notification, but it does give you a little notification here. I had just had somebody come over and buy this Carly right there. So it tells me what they got in line with. And then if you go to your dashboard, this is your order section. This is where all of your customer information is gonna populate when they claim. It's all under me right now because I claimed all this stuff. I sold this in the last day or so. So I have it already taken out of my inventory. So this Carly right here, it'll show up like this if it's just claimed. You can, right here. You can mark it as invoiced. You can mark it as shipped. You can mark it as paid. So what I will do that just so I can keep it in order. And then the nice part too is I can, when I'm in my order section, I can either show all of them. I can show only the open ones that haven't been invoiced yet. I can show all my invoiced ones. I can show all my paid ones and all my shipped ones. So after it's paid, all you do is click this little check mark and then it takes it out of your inventory. So you don't have to worry about somebody claiming it again and rebuying it. So it's pretty easy. Everything's pretty self-explanatory. There also is, just like Shop the Row, there's a Facebook group. Ryan is the creator of it. His wife is a consultant. He's really dedicated to it. He answers questions at all hours of the day. And he's great. But I personally chose it because I feel like it's easiest for me and it just fits in with what I'm looking for. It is a little bit pricier than Shop the Row, but like I said, I just like it for the ease and for the fact of it being off Facebook. I think the best thing to do is to see, work a little bit without any of it and see what you need. And then go from there. You can do 30 days. They do most of them. I think they both still do a 30-day free trial. Do a free trial of both of them and see what you like and see what's going to work best for you. Everybody has different needs. Everybody has different amount of inventory, and you never know what's going to work for you until you try it. The price of Bethany, I think Shop the Row is $9.99 a month.
Yeah, it is.
Row With Me depends on how much inventory you have. I can tell you really quick. If you have less than 200 items, it's free. Up to 500 items is $9.99 a month, and then unlimited items is $29.99 a month.
Which is really nothing if you guys considered like paying an assistant to help you.
Right. It's not a lot.
No.
I have to say, I do think, and I think Megan touched on this better than I did, I do think that the two programs are starting to even out what they really did differently in the beginning was that Row With Me, am I right in saying this, Meg, that you only posted parties in Row With Me? It didn't have a Facebook option?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And initially with Shop the Row, they did not have a party option. They only had the capability of posting to Facebook. So as of 2 days ago, they've made a party option, which is really, really kind of basic right now. You saw the difference between the layout in Row With Me versus Shop the Row. It is much prettier in Row With Me, and it seems like it's been, it's definitely been more polished. So they've worked on making it more functional and making it quick to make changes to sizes and that kind of stuff. That is coming down the pike with Shop the Row.
Yeah, I think too that both of them, the creators of both of them, are pretty well in tune to what the consultants need. I know, I can't say for Shop the Row, but I know with Row With Me, they are on Facebook all the time asking us, what do you want? What is, would be helpful? And literally, I asked for something one day when they went to having us be able to sort by size. And I was like, well, I would like to see them all at one time. And I think 30 minutes later, I was able to see them all at one time. I mean, they're both, I'm sure, pretty responsive because, they're trying to help us too. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I have to say, I said this to Mitchell because Mitchell is the creator of Shop the Row. And his wife, Sani, is a consultant also, and it's the same story as Row With Me. They both were trying to help their poor wives who were slaving over pictures and manual inventory checks that take, hours to do, and just figuring out the ways that they could help to manage their inventory better. And Mitchell is also super responsive. Like, I don't think that you can make a wrong choice going with either program, because I think both programs work fantastically. I do like what Megan said, though, about figuring out your system or trying it out without it first to sort of see what you individually need. Because it could be that she and I have a story that involves less support than you have at home. Maybe you'll have somebody who is able to do an inventory check while you're pulling orders or whatever. So these programs might not be necessary for you. I found that they opened up a whole world of online sales that was not open to me before. And also that they, like Megan said, I mean, I remember the first time that we used it to fill orders, because it used to take me 3 minutes, and I should say my husband timed this because he hated doing this with me so much, pulling orders from online sales. So it used to take me 3 minutes each order for every single item to cut the picture of the item out of a folder where the item was stored. So like my small Nicole, to cut that picture out and then put it into a sold folder for that individual customer, because I organized it all that way on my desktop. So it would take us 3 minutes to do that and to pull the picture from Facebook. And so my average sales being, let's say they were like, I'll give you an average. So maybe it was 75 pieces. So 75 pieces times 3 minutes, you can imagine it was hours and hours of labor. And the first night that we did this, we looked at each other and we were like, we're done. It was like a third of the time, if that, and we watched a show afterwards. And I was like, this is liberating. I love it. So I mean, anybody who's on my team, I do recommend that they use this program because I really, really love it. It's not because they're paying me anything. It's not because, I have any personal connection with them other than I use the program and I really stand by it. And I'm sure Megan feels the same way.
Yeah.
You're just teaching them what you know, which is what you do as a sponsor. So,
right.
And it doesn't, for anyone listening, you don't have to do the same thing as your sponsor either. Megan, I have one question for you, actually.
Yeah.
You know that a big hesitation for a lot of people with Row With Me is the lack of Facebook interaction. So I know, for you and for a lot of people, you see it as a plus to be fully off Facebook. But for some people that have already been selling a lot online, there's this sort of thrill of seeing all the sold comments pop up that we think the customers like that. Mm-hmm. And I know that I think Row With Me has implementing some of their own social feed, right?
Yes.
And they are talking about posting to Facebook. Can you just talk a little bit more about that?
So what I do personally is I always do a lead up and check in, that sort of thing. Hold on, my battery's dying. Let me plug in a little bit. I'm still posting to Facebook, checking in. I'm still posting my link, that sort of thing. One thing that Row With Me has started doing to make it more social, it used to be that when somebody would get in line for something, I would be the only one to get a notification. Now, whoever is on the link at that time is getting the notification.
I think that's what I was wondering. So they're seeing other people buy stuff. They're still getting that.
Yes. Yeah. So if you and Bethany are both checking out my link at the very beginning and Bethany gets in line for Amelia, a little thing will pop up at the bottom of your screen. Bethany I think it will say Bethany Nordhart got in line for a small Amelia. So it is becoming definitely a more social aspect to it. But it's not like bumping it to your wall or anything.
Weren't they talking about that? Having some comments post to Facebook?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know with Shop the Row, their new the party system, which is also you take the link and then you post it into your Facebook group and that's how people join the party. They just started working on allowing it to post to Facebook. And right now I tried it out with somebody that I work with because I was like, could you try and claim this please on my online sale? And so right now it does post on Facebook that somebody has claimed something via a link. And then you click that link and it brings you to the Shop the Row picture. So it is communicating with Facebook.
Bethany, I was wondering, where is it posting that? Let's say you have it so you have an offline party. What group or feed does that comment get posted to?
On your friend's timeline or whoever posts that they've claimed it. It's really, right now, I was like, this is not, I mean, the comment section, I'm going to discourage people from even using. And to be honest with you, until they sort of iron out the details with that, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to just keep trying to post to Facebook. But the reality is, and this is one of the things I wanted to say, was that this is strictly an opinion that I formulated on my own, and I have absolutely, this is not a hypothesis. It is a made-up belief. But I don't think that Facebook sales will always be a part of LuLaRoe, because I think that the platform is limited in what you can sell. So and this is just an opinion that has no founding other than my thought. I think LuLaRoe is growing, and at some point, I'm sure the company will meet that growth in a different way. So for right now, Facebook sales, people know, which is another reason why I chose Shop the Row. They know how to do that. The people who are entering into LuLaRoe land learn it pretty quickly because a lot of people are plugged into Facebook. But also a lot of people who know LuLaRoe already they know how to shop using Facebook. So it wasn't a whole lot of retraining. As far as down the pike, I have no idea what LuLaRoe is going to do, but I would think a business that's growing as quickly as it is going to implement something different at some point in time for online sales. The company really stands by the fact that in-person pop-ups are the way to build your business, and they understand that there is a role for online sales. But
and they're encouraging Facebook Live and Periscope a lot too, because I feel we're getting more personal interaction that way.
Yeah. I feel like that I haven't gone that route yet because it'll stress me out too much. But I will at some point. I'll adapt.
Yeah, but I love in-home parties.
Yeah.
You know, I like doing in-home parties. I like getting out of the house.
Yeah.
And people ask me all the time, like, do you really like lugging, 1,200 things in and out of people's houses just to pack it all up and go home? And I'm like, yeah, because they can try it on and they know they like it and they take it home and they're not bugging me about exchanges. I don't have to worry about shipping stuff. I mean, in all honesty, it's more physical labor, but it's less work to do an in-home party.
It's less time. Like if you sell online, you spend the next day or chunk of time invoicing and pulling. It's like, Megan, someone's asking, Row with me, and can you do multi-consultant sales yet?
They actually just said something today that it is coming soon. I don't know what it will look like. I know I've seen some multi-consultant sales on Facebook where each person has an album and then they post their link in that album, but I'm not quite sure what a Row with me multi-consultant sale will look like. To be honest, I don't prefer them. I don't really participate in them. I used to, I won't lie, I used to participate in them and they were okay for a while, but they just haven't been worth my time uploading to Facebook the way that I have to upload to Facebook for a multi. And I know Kara's talked about this too before, and LuLaRoe has talked about it. I would prefer going out and getting a new customer than taking the customer base that there already is and spreading it thin over 30 consultants. To me, that just is crazy. So, but yes, they're coming. That's my own personal opinion though.
Thanks.
Yeah, multi-consultant sales with Shop the Row, it's a pretty easy thing because you're already posting to Facebook, but I agree with the other two folks. I think your way of creating a successful customer base and a loyal customer base is by meeting people who have never tried on a product and getting them to put it on their body, because that person's going to stick with you as far as sales. So multi-consultant sales are really good for getting your name out there. And the reality is you're a business person, so networking in every aspect that you can is vital, which means handing out cards to people when they say that they like your skirt, which means joining multi-consultant sales and getting maybe 5 new members. Maybe one of them is going to stay in your group and shop with you regularly. Who knows? Yeah. So it's helpful, but if it's taking you hours and hours to upload, it wouldn't be worth it. That was why I didn't do online sales before online pop-ups, because I said, I'm not making enough sales. I'm selling let's say I'm selling 20 pieces and it took me 4 hours to upload everything. Like, it's not worth it. But yeah, I completely agree with that as far as the multi-consultant thing goes.
I mean,
Just
they're definitely, they have their place. Team sales are great. They have their place. It's just the fact of the time now that it's been taking me to upload. It's just,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you guys to feel like multi-consultant sales have to be a part of your weekly routine. Maybe twice a month or something, but I don't see, I would never want anyone to let that take away from your own pop-up time. So never commit to a multi that, say, is asking you to, oh, you have to be in our sale every Wednesday night or something, because that's going to prohibit you from booking your own pop-up on a Wednesday night. And that's just silly. And then I see some of the people organizing the really elaborate ones that, like, they require that you advertise, which I agree. If you're going to be in it, you should be advertising to your group as well, because you want to share. You have to bring your own customers in if you're going to share with others. But they want proof, right? So they say you have to, like, share 3 screenshots in their Google Doc and, like, just answer all these questions for them. Now, if you were my direct and I caught you organizing one of those, I'd be like, wait a second, like, you're spending like these hours and hours and hours on building all of these other people's business. Like, you need to get out and do your own thing. When I see the elaborate nature and the way that some of these things are organized, I'm like, who has time for that to participate? Never mind to organize it. Just keep that
Not to mention, I mean, you honestly, the other thing that you should know, at least this has been my experience, is you do not sell a lot through a multi-consultant sale. Consider every time you think about a business decision, think about it in the terms of you being the customer. So what would you want to see? And it sounds really great to go to a sale where there are 30 consultants who are posting all of the same inventory, but it's completely overwhelming as a customer. You're going through shirt after shirt after shirt, and your eyes are like, this is too much. So you really end up selling a couple pieces. It's definitely, I completely agree, it's not worth your time. For me, it's barely any time, because I just throw my album up and then hope that my ugliest piece is sold. And then, hey, that was worth it. But, you take that time. Kara and Megan are totally right. You take that time and build your real customer base, which is the people that you talk to and interact with. And I have a lot of loyal customers who live across the country that have been with me since the beginning of starting my online sales. And they're loyal customers, and I've never met them, but I know their kids' names, and I talk to them. And one of the things that I love about this program, and I'm sure Megan feels the same way, is that it's allowed me more time to do what I really like about LuLaRoe, which is get to know people and, and have some aspect of them in my life. I'm a social person, and I crave that interaction. And to have a program that takes me away from, I'm like talking like a nurse right now, because I am a nurse. This is the age-old problem of nursing, is that you sit in front of a computer and you don't talk to your patient, because you've got to document this and you've got to document that. And when I got into this, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in nursing, because I'm doing the same kind of crappy computer work, except what I really want to be doing is watching people put on that skirt and feel awesome, and finding out, what's going on with their kids this weekend, and what they're doing, where they're going on vacation, like that kind of stuff. I want the social piece. I don't want that tasky stuff. Like, that's baloney. That's the stuff that makes me money, but I really want to know people. So these programs have helped with that.
Yeah. So when you're spending less time uploading your photos, you have more time to like post in the party and like get to know, like that's what we've all found. Like
absolutely.
Post in the party while other things are happening. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. So we've kept 27 people on for about an hour and 20 minutes on a Friday night.
All right, guys. I told you I warned both of the girls before I got on. I was like, I wrote myself notes because I talk. So I was trying to stay on focus.
I really like what you guys said about, Megan said, and then Bethany agreed about don't be afraid to try this. If you're new, like, don't be afraid to try this with, just on your own at first, and figure out your system, your style, how, your business flow, and like what your customers are like. If you have customers that are all on Facebook or not on Facebook, that will help you decide as well what to do.
I remember like the very beginning, I did so many things. I did Post-it notes. I had a notebook that I would highlight every one. Oh my gosh.
It was awful.
So many different things. And like, I would be like, oh my gosh, I figured this out. I can use this. Each one gets a number, and then I put their name beside their number, and I was all excited for myself. And then like Leafy Peach came out, and What Did I Sell came out. I was like, man, I'm so dumb.
Yeah. And those programs like What Did I Sell and Leafy Peach, I used that for months. I used What Did I Sell for months. And that was enough to take some of the burden off of me, as far as, because what I used to do before is I had screenshots. So I had my iPhone, and anytime somebody commented that they wanted something sold and their email address, I would take a screenshot of that item. And then I would go through all of my 100 pictures and find that, Sarah C. claimed this pair of leggings at the very beginning, and then she claimed it at the very end, and it was tedious. So What Did I Sell took all of the things where people commented sold and gave me a list of everything that people claimed, and I used that to invoice, and that was pretty effective. And that's only, I think, $8 a month, I think, last I checked.
Yeah.
And again, a consultant that's on our team, her husband made that. So it's a nice.
And also use that for live sales too, which is
they do have a live sale feature.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do things. And again, LuLaRoe does not. They don't provide any support for these programs. This is not their product. This is not their baby. It's not against policies and procedures, so you can use it, but they are not providing IT. So if the program's not working and you're like, oh no, I was supposed to have a sale, what am I supposed to do? It's like, well, you got to figure it out, because that's not our system.
And it's up to us to figure out if anything we use is within policies and procedures. Right. So say any of these programs made some sort of change. I mean, I feel like the developers are pretty dedicated to making sure that they are compliant.
Yeah.
But if they miss something and then it turned on you, that could be a problem. So it is, like a use at your own risk kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, the other big thing, just in case you didn't catch this, is that neither of these programs offer a cart option, meaning that you cannot check out. You cannot charge anybody for your products through these programs, and that is because of the policy, the LuLaRoe policy, that everything that you sell needs to be done through Audrey, which means there is no PayPal, there is no Square. It is through Audrey 100%. So, and these program developers have been really respectful of that. Absolutely. Again, because their wives are selling the product. And so all of this information that we glean from our Facebook sales or our Row With Me sales or whatever, we are submitting for payment through Audrey.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being with us tonight. I hope this answered a lot of questions for you and gave you some, direction on these programs. And I will be posting this to our group, of course.
If you have any